figure out a way to fix that. Okay, is everybody back? I see you. I think there's 2 people missing, aren't there? Okay, so I apologize. I guess you guys made up a board of things that we want to talk about and address. So who has a submissive peeing problem?
I got my dog when she was 15 months old, and when you go to like pick her up,
Yep.
or when I first got her, just to throw
Thank
the
you.
crate, she would be a submissive peer, but as she gets more comfortable with me, she's not doing that. But still, when I go to pick her up, put my hands on either side of her, unless it's like her coming up to me for a hug, I still have the problem.
And how old is she now?
She'll be 2 in June.
So, I remember, I think on the board we talked about temperament. I hate to say it, but this is usually a temperament issue. Unless there is something bad happened to the dogs, or for some reason the vet, one day maybe grabbed the dog and scared the heck out of the dog, and now the dog urinates to relieve the stress, or maybe urinated, made the vet stop, or whatever the case is. Most likely, it's a temperament thing. Sometimes you can condition the dog. So if it was my dog, instead of reaching down, picking it up, and just doing that a bunch of times and hoping it stops peeing, I would condition the dog. So remember the young man, I asked him, if I walked up to him and slugged him 10 times, and the 11th time I walked up, what's he going to do? He's going to duck. Okay, so the dog is much the same way. So for 2 years, every time the dog is, you've reached down like that, go grab the dog says, oh my gosh, I know what's coming. Okay, and a lot of times it's an involuntary response. Okay, the dog doesn't necessarily think, oh, I got to go pee, I'm going to pee, and hopefully this resolves it. It's a nervous thing, and the dog's like, I have a weak bladder, whatever the case may be. You can condition the dog, so I would fake the dog out. Start to reach down there and then feed the dog. Start to reach down there and then feed the dog. Start to reach down there and maybe do that for weeks and months before you ever even try to pick up the dog. You may have to reach a point where we may not be able to pick up the dog like that. It's just, if you can condition it, it'd be great. But after a while, if you feel you're not making anywhere, then don't do that to the dog. I mean, I'd have to ask you, why would you want to pick up your dog like that?
It's a grooming table issue. I don't know whether it's the getting the dog or whether it's the grooming table, but usually I pick up the dog to put her on the grooming table, and she stands on the grooming table with no problem, but the act of going down to get her for that. But when I first got her, she did it just like I said, just to approach the pull her out of the crate.
Gotcha. Could you put stairs, or could you figure out a way for her to climb up on the grooming table by herself? Can you get an adjustable grooming table where you can lower the table, she gets on it, and then raise the table up? My friend here, she has a mobile dog grooming business. She's a really, really good groomer. Any ideas for her?
That's a good one. I was going to suggest that, just a ramp or something, allow her to get up herself, approach her from the side instead of in front of her.
Like from a heel position,
Coming from the side.
get in the heel position and pick the dog up.
Kind of scooping.
Well, the other thing I try is maybe instead of picking her up from the sides, pick her up, take your hand, put it underneath her tail, groin area, and then put your other hand on her chest. And you're still picking her up, but maybe the act of pick her up different. She's gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is not normal, or maybe she just doesn't like their chest being squeezed.
She's already crouched down.
Is she? Okay. Then don't. I would figure out a way to put a ramp, put stairs, figure out a way, or groom her somewhere else. Then again, is that the only time you pick her up is to put her on the grooming table?
Absolutely.
So maybe the problem is not actually being picked up. Maybe the problem is a grooming table. Maybe the slick table, or not the slick table, but I imagine you have carpet on it. Maybe, okay, maybe just being up on the grooming table is nervousness, and she knows, oh crap, I know what's about to happen, and urinates. So you might just try picking her up at different locations and putting her on things and see if she still urinates. I'd recommend the bed, but I don't want her to urinate on your bed. Fading the pinch collar. Whose question was that?
What'd you say?
Fading out the pinch collar.
Yeah.
So that's actually a very good question. It's a hard question to ask, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure I can really give you a straight answer because every dog is a little bit different. One of the big things I have to convince people a lot of times that come to my classes are to use a pinch collar. Of course, we talked about the science behind it, but a lot of people use their eyes. They see the collar and they're like, oh my gosh, there is no way. And actually, I've had people not take my classes or take training from me because I encourage people to use it. So with that said, when my dogs are in public, anytime I have them walking, they're on a prong collar all the time. I don't rely on it for training necessarily, because if I can't go do a routine without a collar, then why should I do it even with a pinch collar? I mean, the collar to me is a tool, it's not a crutch. So if you're training and your collar is a crutch to you, in other words, you still have to have it on in order to get through a routine, then you're probably not ready to go do a routine yet. And that's one of the hard things. I mean, and I'm guilty of it too. And I get questions so many times, Jason, do you think I'm ready? I personally think we're never ready. We're never ready, because there's always training that we can do. And I've made the mistake years ago of telling a gentleman, oh, I think he's ready because his dog did really good. And I thought, okay, you're ready. And I convinced him. He went to trial, and it was a complete embarrassment for the poor guy. And he didn't do anything after that, and I felt horrible. Part of the major issue was him. He was completely nervous. It wasn't just the dog. But in regards to the prong collar, it's one of those things where I think I would mix it up. I would say, okay, what do I need the prong collar for? Okay, do I need the prong collar for attention? Okay, if you're using it for attention, then is the dog really giving you attention, or are you relying on negative reinforcement in order to keep the attention? If you're relying on negative reinforcement in order to keep the attention, the moment you go in that ring and you take that leash off, now what control do you have? And I guarantee you the dog realizes it. I was talking to your husband about the shark line. So Lynn Newman really preaches this a lot of times. What she'll do is she'll have like a or whatever flat collar on, or whatever she uses to show in, and then she'll have the prong collar. And so what she'll do is when she takes the prong collar off, she'll put the little shark line on, she'll start doing her routine, and the moment the dog kind of checks out, she has that fishing line on, and she's kind of hard on her dog, and she'll admit it, she gets on the dog's case. Now what the dog realizes, oh crap, just because you take the prong collar off, you still have this invisible leash. Yes, we are tricking the dog, and in order to trick the dog, we always have to trick the dog, but it is a way to kind of, merge away from the pinch collar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if you just have the dog wear it, but don't use it in whatever other collar you're going to use?
So that's a really good point. So we do this with electric collars. Electric collars are a very touchy subject with some people, and the reason being is people overly use them and use them the wrong way. But one of the things when we do it with electric collar, my puppy wears electric collar. Okay, it's never turned on, but he wears it. It goes on and off him with other collars. It goes on and off him periodically. Why? Because I just don't want him. I'm not going to put it on him one day and start pushing the button. Not that I do that, but I'm not going to put it on him one day and just start pushing the button right away. I want him to be desensitized to it. So it can go on and off. So your prong collaring can do the same thing. The one difficulty of the prong collar is it feels physically different on the neck than the other collars, and the dog is really quickly to understand, oh, I have this thing, and they can feel the difference. So by taking it on and off, yes, it's good because you're conditioning the dog to understand, okay, it can be used or not used. What a lot of times we do is we'll put the prong collar on pretty snug, and we'll put a tab on it. A tab is an 8-inch or 12-inch small leash. That way, let's say you're all of a sudden you need to reach down and grab it for some reason, it's right there. The dog still feels it on, but once again, you're still having to take it off the dog, and the dog still realizes, oh, I have this collar off. One of the problems is people do this all the time is they train with it on all the time. They go to a show, they take it off, and what does the dog do? Whoa, hey, I don't got this on anymore. However, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing because we want to be consistent. What if we're out training our dog and all of a sudden the dog pisses you off, you run to the car, you grab your prong collar, you put it on? Okay? Is that the correct way to use it? Not at all. You should have learned from your last training episode that, hey, I may need it, and think ahead of time. My club members are very notorious for doing that. They have an idea, they want to come out, work on it, they get out to the field, oh crap, I forgot this. Well, then they go to the car, get it, takes 10 minutes to get it back. I would rather see him put the dog up, get all the stuff together, and then come out on the field prepared. Okay? Stand stays. Who has that question? Okay, so the stand is actually an interesting thing. Can I ask how you taught the stand?
Well, I mean, I start from a sit, and I turn 90 degrees to her and have her stand. She'll stay and I can walk away. That's not my issue. The issue is she loves people so much, as soon as the judge starts to approach, all the feet go. I mean, she won't hold her feet in the same
Okay.
spot. That's my problem, is when the judge approaches.
Okay, so
The rest of it she'll do.
okay, but I'm going to ask you again because then I'll explain it to you why in a minute. But how did you teach her to stand? Here, stand up. Show me if she was right in front of you how you teach her to stand.
I would turn, cookie, my hand command is straight down her back, she pops up.
Oh, okay. So that's the key I was looking for. You did it right. So a lot of people teach the stand by teaching the dog to go from a sit, and the dog walks into it. Okay, so automatically we teach the dog that they have the muscle memory of walking into it. So there's two things that I would recommend. One, I'd recommend for out of the stand, forget the stand. I see a conditioning problem more than a stand problem. If she has a nice stand, but she's occupied by other people, you need to condition her, and this is something when we get out we can work on her with her, but we need to condition her basically to ignore distractions. Can I use you for a minute?
She get very distracted.
Okay, so let's say I'm your dog. Okay, walk away a little bit. Okay. She's a judge. She's standing over there. Okay, I'm the dog. Now by yourself, you're doing really good because I imagine you train by yourself all the time, like I do. Okay, and the moment the judge comes over, oh hey, how you doing? And the dog runs and jumps on it. Now, even if the judge completely ignores her, even if you get upset at her, this is still giving her, hello, how you doing? Okay, and you might pet me. This is still giving her a success. So what we do is we go back. We don't even worry about the stand. Normally, we can pick the strongest. If sit is stronger or down is stronger, we can do it in a sit or down because it helps the dog be stationary. But here, stay there a minute. So let's say, here, come out here, John, please. Okay. Okay, it's gonna help you with some timing. Okay, I'm your dog. Okay, I'm just sitting here hanging out like this. I'm sitting. She starts to walk up. Oh, hey, how you doing? Now wait, that's kind of interesting. He told me to stay. Now, am I learning on my own or am I waiting for him to reinforce it?
You're waiting for it.
Yeah, and in the ring, can he do that?
No.
Nope, you just lost points.
Right.
Okay, so what we do instead is you work with somebody. So watch what she's going to do this time. When I start to pay attention to you, just walk away, ignore me, okay? So, looking at you, she just walks up. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, nothing happened, okay? Coming again.
So slowly desynthesize.
Well, hold on. She's going to walk up again. Hey. You're not giving, okay? And he's on, no, don't feed him. Because if he feeds a dog, what are we doing? We're conditioning the look away, right? Okay, now, she's going to walk up. Oh, and now you feed me. Now you get, sorry, I got excited, but you need to feed me. All right, now he throws the dog. Sorry.
I was supposed to get excited.
Yeah. It's really bad when the dog is excited. But now he throws me a party. So what did I just learn there? Simple mathematics, right? 2 plus 2, she started to walk up. That wasn't 4. 4 was when I ignored her, and now we threw the dog a party, okay? So basically you start implementing that, where pretty soon the dog thinks the person coming towards me is not a source of release or stress reliever. It's a paycheck coming. Because as that person comes closer, you're going to feed me more. And as the person comes closer, each time you throw the dog a little bit bigger party. Pretty soon the person's going to be right there and the dog's like, oh man, I know that party's coming. Screw you. I know that party's coming. Dad's going to give me a big party. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So don't even worry about the touch.
So work up close. Don't do the distance or anything. Stay up close.
No. Start. Okay, yes, you as a handler. Because if that's a dog and I'm here and she comes up, well, how can I reward when I'm here?
Right.
And if I got excited, what's the dog going to do? Come to me. So therefore, when you're working on the stand, when the person starts to come up to the dog's like, Dad, I did good. I want to come to you and get rewarded. So that's why you start right here.
Right.
Okay, very good question.
I have another question on
Yes.
the stand. My dog lifts 1 foot when I go around him.
Yes.
Otherwise he stands.
It's a nervous thing. Usually what happens is, stress comes on, and so I'm going to ask you a question, please don't take offensive. Have you ever gone on his case for breaking it sit? Or it does it in a stand or sit?
Stand.
Okay, have you ever gone on his case for leaving the stand? Have you ever got harsh with it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, you. So most of the time, what happens is if we walk away, we start to return to the dog, and the dog moves, and we get on skates. No, don't do that. Now the dog's like, oh my gosh, now I'm stressed. The moment you start returning to the dog, now the dog's thinking, my gosh, am I going to get in trouble? And usually the paw lifting up is a little bit of a stress. Usually it's a little bit of an insecurity. So you try to condition it. So let's say this is my dog right here. Okay. When I start returning to it, at this point the dog starts lifting up the leg, right?
No, it's when I go around.
Okay. So okay. I don't. Here, come here, please. Okay, she's my dog. Okay, stay there. Nice dog, good dog. Okay, so let's say I start, when you're about here, does the dog start lifting its leg? Okay. So there's a couple different things you can do. One, you can fake the dog out, walk this way, and then walk back. Now, by the time the dog lifts its leg, I'm too late. You have to decide at that one point you think the dog might lift its leg, and then you come back and you feed the dog. Okay? Might lift its leg, come back and feed the dog. Okay? Either that, or go to the other side. Return to your dog this way. And dog doesn't lift its leg, throw the dog party. You have to change parameters in order to change the way the dog is thinking about the behavior. The other thing you can do is this. Now this gets a little dangerous. Not dangerous, bad, but it can conflict with your training. So if I start to go around this way and the dog does good, I'll take a piece of food and toss it. Good. Because the reason being is the dog is expecting food to toss out, is not now focused on me. Right now, your dog is focused on, okay, mom's going to return, right? However, if I throw out a piece of food when I'm returning and free the dog, now the dog is not focused on me. Now it's focused on where's the food going to fly out. Does that make sense?
But you're going to throw the food.
I can throw food just kind of in front of the dog.
Okay.
Okay? But you got to be careful of that, because then now what are we doing? We're conditioning the dog. As soon as we return to him, hey, there could be food on the ground. So you got to be... Yeah, exactly. So you got to be a little bit careful of that. But in the end, where in the rule book does it say the dog? Well,
You do have to circle.
you do have to circle. But I would be curious if you lose 1 point for the dog lifting its foot, no more than 1 point. So you have to look at it this way. You have to look at it this way. If you want a perfect score, then work on it. If in the end of things, if you add so much stress by returning to the dog, and you start ruin your stand stay, well, then you lost your whole 10 points, right? I'd rather lose 1 point than 10 points, especially if thank you, especially if your dog's 9 years old, right? I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, really, realistically, what are we gonna change at 9? Okay.
I just want green.
What to expect in your first competition? Oh, jeez, holy crap!
Everything and anything that can go wrong.
Expect to fail. No, I really expect to. I hate to say it, but a lot of times people just the first one. The first one is hard. However, there is a way. Who has answered that question? Okay, there is a way to help you through this. So our local kennel club does fun matches. Do you guys do fun matches here?
We don't have enough.
Oh, geez, that sucks. Well, find a kennel club locally and do fun matches with them. Fun matches are a great opportunity because they're less stress. There's nothing a whole lot on the table. Plus, you can if your dog gets away with something and you need to do whatever it is. I'm not telling you to correct your dog or anything like that, but whatever it needs to do, you can do whatever you need to do to condition the dog. So you're probably thinking, well, what's that different than the basic training? So the fun matches, usually they set up rings, usually have a judge and steward, and there's other dogs. And not just the dogs you're training with. Our dogs in our club get really familiar with shepherds. All the dogs are shepherds. We have a Mal or two, and Rottweiler, but most of them are shepherds. The dog sees another dog, they're like, what the hell is that, right? So sometimes just working with the same people over and over each week, they get absorbed to that. Working with other dogs at a fun match kind of helps you with that. So what to expect? One of the things that I sometimes complain with is, like I said before, is my dog ready? And sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves. If one of my club members says, okay, do you think I'm ready for my BH? Okay, I ask him, can you heel at least 100 paces without your dog dropping its head? 100 paces, 100 straight paces without your dog dropping head. There's no turns, there's no halts, there's nothing. Okay, if they say, well, the moment they say, well, that tells me they're not very confident and they're not ready for that. So you have to do a synopsis with yourself and say, okay, is my dog ready? Can I go beyond the routine that I'm supposed to do. So if the average AKC pattern is, healing is 12 minutes long, can you do 15 minutes of healing, or can you do 18 minutes of healing? If you I teach a 4-H club, and I also do competitive obedience. But when we work sit stays, we never do 1 minute sit stays. Sit stays. Reason being is, I guarantee your dog can tell time. It's the weirdest thing. The dog knows, hey, there's a minute up. Come on, okay?
Right
What's
to the
gonna?
second,
Yeah, right.
5 seconds.
Yep. Or the handler starts fidgeting. They'll be looking at the clock and they'll be like, okay, I know that, because it's the longest minute of your life if you've ever done it before. It's horrible. So we train for 2 or 3 minutes. So that way the dogs, if your dog can do it for 3 minutes, then obviously 1 minute is ready. So I expect to pass. Go in there, especially for AKC. With AKC, if you're healing long and your dog drops out of the heel and starts sniffing, you keep going. Most people, they fall apart. Oh, come on, dog. And every time you call your dog, every time you give a signal, you can see the check mark, okay? So you just keep walking, hope the dog, hey, will catch up. And if it does, sweet. You only get marked down for lagging. At least you can finish the rest of the routine. But you have to be honest with yourself and make sure you're really ready. And if you're really ready, then you should expect to pass.
So it's awfully.
Well, it depends on what title you're going for. That you have to read your rule book.
There's a ring practice in the Bark for Life, and then almost every Sunday.
Okay, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
No, okay, you don't want to call me sir. Jeez.
You call us young.
Oh, great. I can say old woman if you like. Who had the broad jump question? Yes.
Well, Austin will walk on it, cut the corner. We do agility, so I'm not moving fast, so he doesn't carry out very well.
It's a very easy solution. Can you do me a favor? Can you grab the cones for the 2 small cones and the pipe? So, have you guys ever been around horses? Anybody been around horses? Okay. Anybody ever been jumping horses? So there's mechanics in teaching the dog to jump, and a lot of people don't really think about the mechanics. Especially our sport, the dog has to jump 3 meters. Has to jump 1 meter, which is 3 feet. Sorry about that. Okay, so can you set the other one right here?
Put a bar over it.
So let's say this is your jump. Okay. The first thing we start doing, can you grab that long? Do you have your long line here still? Sir, do you have your long line still here? Okay. Does anybody have a leash?
10 foot.
Do you have a leash handy? Any leash? Any leash? Okay.
It's not very long.
Okay. Can you hold one end of it? Okay. So the first thing, and you come and stand right here. So the first thing is, okay, we're talking about the broad jump, right? So we have 3 jumps. So we want to teach the dog to start jumping higher and further than they normally have to do. So I start with one of these, or just 1 jump, and start teaching the dog the mechanics of doing 1 jump. Here, bring it closer this way, guys. Okay, hold it above the cones about a foot. Okay, lower. That's like the 3 feet. There you go. Okay, so if I'm the dog, we don't want to teach the dog ever to touch or to push off of it, right? If the dog walks over it, then it's not understanding the concept of jumping. So I'd set 1 broad jump down, okay, and I'd put a person on each side with the leash, and I'd take a toy and I'd toss it over. Okay, that way the dog stops stepping on it and now learns to jump over it. Plus this does another thing. It teaches the dog to jump higher than the jump itself. In our sport, we don't want the dog to push off the top. The dog pushes off the top, then the dog loses points. Plus, if it's a stationary jump, the dog can blow out their knees, because when they jump and their back knees hit it, and that's it, the dog's retired. So this, we teach the dog to jump a little higher. So once the dog now understands to start jumping 1 of these, then we put, okay, move this way, guys, a little bit. So now you put the next lower one right there, and you put the leash above the lower one. Okay, so now what does the dog have the muscle memory for doing on the first one? Jumping higher, right? Now the dog learns. However, thank you, ladies, you're good. But now drive comes into place. The dog has to have enough drive to carry him over it. If I'm here and my dog is focused on me, could I ever expect him to jump over that? No, he's going to be looking at me, right? Okay, so we have to teach the dog how to have enough drive to clear it. If you use food, then have somebody load a target. Okay, you hold the dog by the collar. Don't tell the dog to sit. Anybody know why I told her to do that?
Reduces the drive.
You got it. I like this woman, okay? By telling the dog to sit, we call it capping the dog. or capping the drive. Now the dog's, I'm in obedience mode, okay? By holding the collar and the other person with here and a target, all right, come on, puts the food down, boom, you let the dog go, sends over, okay? And then if you want to call it back over, you're welcome to, or because in the broad jump you are here, and then you have to turn, so you can basically start playing the mechanics. However, there's a key to that also. One of the problems with the broad jump is the dog cuts the corner.
Right.
So if the dog is right here, for those who don't know what to do on this, okay, and the handler's right here, okay, the moment the handler turns, the dog knows I'm just going to come in the front position, so they start cutting the third jump, or they land on it. So what I like to do is these cones are really handy. So I like to take one of these cones and teach my dog to go around them. Okay, what I do is I put a cone right here. So now once I've taught the dog to jump them, I send the dog over and around, and now then I do the front. Well, actually, I don't do this. I've never done open, okay, but that's how I teach it. Okay, dog goes around the cone. I'm already right here, and now I do the front. So now I'm teaching the dog muscle memory for jumping long and away from the last jump, and not cutting the corner.
So you would put the cone
In the center or off just a little bit?
here, and they jump, they would wrap the cone and then come
Yeah,
back.
here, grab that large cone there, love, please. Okay, set the cone right here. Okay, so before I even start implementing this, I teach the dog to go around it.
Okay.
Because if the dog doesn't go around it, it's gonna really screw with the brain, okay? So I'm gonna be your dog, okay? We're gonna act like I jumped that. So I jumped it, okay? I went around. Now look, now where am I at? I'm almost in line with her because she's right there, right? Now my front's really easy. Now my front's there.
So it causes the dog to carry out.
You got it. Teaches the muscle memory. But you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute. When the cone is not there, so we start with a big object, and then you can go to like a stick, a dowel, and then you can go to a touchpad, or you wean it back however you want to wean it, or you basically just do this for weeks, and then you take it away one time and see if the dog offers the same muscle memory. I almost guarantee you the dog is going to. Okay, good question. Drop on recall.
Well, that's good.
How have you taught it in the past?
Put a leash out and walk up to the leash, call them to me, drop them there, drop them there, drop them there. So you step back, drop them at the same point.
Okay, so the drop on recall is really confusing on the dog. You got to imagine, up to when you get to the open, we're working on fronts. What do we want the dog to do in the front? We want the dog fast and come to the front. Okay, so is that your ball down there? Can this young lady borrow it? Here, stand up for a minute. So one of the first things that she needs to do is start teaching the dog to drop from a distance from her. Okay, so there's a couple different ways she can do it. She can start by I built these. They're really handy. I built these tables. They're about 2 feet tall. They're about 4 by 4 and maybe 3 by 3. Just a table off the ground, probably about 18 inches off the ground. Okay, and I do a lot of my teaching on that because the one thing is, if I tell my dog to down, he's going to come down in front of me. Okay, why? Because I'm the reward. Okay, so if I teach him the table, and the dog's on the table, and I'm back here, and I teach the dog to down, now I'm starting to teach the dog to down from a distance. Okay, I'll get to the ball in a minute. So now I'm getting the dog to down from a distance. I go back to him and reward him. He's not coming to me for the reward. That's the first important part. Now I need to teach the dog to do it in movement or in drive, because the moment the dog starts moving towards us, what's going to happen? The dog's going to say, I don't want it down. Why? Because it's counterintuitive. I need to get all the way to you to get the reward. It makes no sense. So let's say she's got this ball here. Okay, dog really likes the ball. Toss the ball out. Okay, I go get the ball. Okay, the moment I get the ball, she tells me to down. Okay, say down.
Down.
Okay, the moment I down, she comes up and she loads that. She feeds me. Okay, or if she has a good take it, down, and then she can tell the dog to take it and release the dog. So what am I doing here? I'm running out with enthusiasm. I'm downing from a distance. This really helps later when she gets into gloves retrieves. Okay, this also helps the dog go away from her in her go out. This helps with a lot of different things. So once the dog now starts doing downs from a distance and down and drive, which is important, now we have to try to convince the dog to down on their way to us. Okay, So let's say I'm her dog. I'm on a long line. What she's gonna do is she's gonna have somebody hold me back here, okay? And she's gonna just free me. I'm gonna start coming to you. The person's gonna stop me, and she's gonna say down. Okay? The moment the dog down, she's gonna throw the ball at me or run up and load food. Okay? So yes, you could probably skip the ball. I mean, I'm giving you like 2 ideas at a time. Some people go right to this. Okay? But the problem is the moment you don't have that long line on the dog, now all the speed is there. This is why I like the dog to do it out of drive more than relying on a person with a long line. The other idea you can also do, once you get the dog where he's downing from a distance, let's say, see where this like little leaf is on the ground right there? Okay? So basically you put a target there with a couple pieces of food. The dog is here, okay? You call the dog, you tell the dog to take it, because obviously if you called him and he just stops and eats food, what are we doing to our recall? Okay? So he gets the food as he's eating, you tell him down. The moment the dog downs, you run up and feed him. So the key to this also is never call the dog out of the down at first. Get your down for months. So let's say she's getting ready for a trial. She wants to do at least 15, 20 drops without a recall, and then implement the recall. Because what's going to happen is if she does too many drops with a recall, it's going to start slowing the recall down. The dog's going to like down halfway. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I want you to call me. And the dog's going to run to her, right? We want the dog to think, you down me. Okay, you're going to come feed me and stay here. So the recall is taught separately than the down on recall.
I'm still getting about 3 steps after it's down.
He's you
starting
tell him
to,
down and
then I get 3 steps and then she downs.
okay. So do you have the dog with you?
Yeah.
When we work, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing that when she does that, what I'm gonna have her do is I'm gonna have her throw the food, because think that I got the down command, Mom. I really want to come to you. I really want to come to get that reward. But if I down right here and she starts throwing food at me, why would I ever want to get to her? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'm just starting to teach it now, but I've had issues with other people.
A lot of people have issues. Yes.
Well, what I do is similar to that, but I actually have 2 different commands. If I'm screwing up my front command, I use front. That means come to me. That's my recall.
Mhm.
When I say front. When I'm gonna do a down in the middle of a call, I say come. My release command is to come to me. The dog immediately knows there's probably gonna be a down as the dog is coming towards me.
Yes, but you need to make sure in the rule book you're not going to lose points for that. That's very good thinking, but would that consider 2 different commands, though?
No, because
Okay.
if the dog is away from me,
He just says one word.
and I just say one word, I say come, and the dog's coming, and then the dog knows it's going to get a down signal. If the dog is across the ring and I say front, the dog is to come to my front without stopping.
Okay.
Ever.
So his thinking is correct. A lot of times I explain this to people. I had this argument with somebody the other day. I said, okay, what's your front command? And they say here, okay. I'm like, what's your general come command? Well, here. Well, they just couldn't understand it. It just made no sense to them. And then they went and asked 2 other trainers, and they said, oh, why haven't I been doing that? And that's why they didn't have a very good front, is because they were merging the 2. So if it works, use it. If it works, use it.
Question.
Yes.
Will the judge say, well, wait a minute, you called the dog and said this, and now you're calling the dog and saying that? You can say whatever you want. So you don't have to be consistent.
You can say whatever word you
So
want.
the first command is to
Yeah, I
call the
understand that.
dog.
Yeah.
I say come,
Yeah.
the dog's coming, I down the
I
dog,
was just curious if
And
the
then-
judge would be upset about that.
and then I say front, and the dog comes front.
I understand.
That makes sense?
You just can give
You just got to commit. You just got to make sure the dog stops halfway
But
through
they're not gonna-
when you do the
they're not
down,
gonna say
instead of
what
just
they
saying,
want.
"Oh, you called the dog, to me." Plus, the other thing you got to make sure is the dog does not just kind of walk and wait. I'm waiting for that command because I know you just gave me the down command. So that's the other thing you got to be careful about.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Well, I do notice that there is a difference. When I say front, the dog is like ripping from there to here. But if I say come, the dog actually gets up and moves slower.
Yeah,
the
'cause
dog
he has
is-
anticipating.
The dog is anticipating the down.
But she's
So-
not walking.
But she's not walking,
So
so
with-
she is anticipating.
If I was in a,
No.
if I was in a situation, I still want to try to keep as many points as possible. I would sometimes do a front without a down.
Well, he always does.
I always do a front without a down.
Okay, well you're come without a down.
A come with-
So you mix it up. So the dog's not thinking, okay, is it coming pretty soon? Is it coming pretty soon? I would mix it up. One of the other things I do with one of my clients that has that problem is they'll call the dog. The dog will kind of be anticipating, and then from there, free, they just release the dog from a distance. Now the dog comes running to him. We do that 3 or 4 times. Now the dog comes, oh man, I don't know, you're going to say free or you're going to say down, and the dog comes a little quicker. Okay? Okay, any other questions, guys? Okay.
Done with the topic request? Is that-
Yes.
Oh, okay, then yes.
Yes.
My question is, we're working towards, competitive obedience.
Uh-huh.
But when I'm at home and I just want to take my dog for a walk, I mean, obviously you use different words. Like I just say with me instead of saying heel when I'm like walking down
Yep.
the street. But as far as like in the house, do I we kind of just give love to our dogs whenever. Like we invite them on the couch, they're allowed to, come snuggle, they can request attention. Do we want to kind of keep some of that to a minimum to try to encourage the training sessions to have a higher engagement level? Or like how do you handle kind of day-to-day living while trying to be more competitive in your training?
That's a really good point. I don't know. I got with me example. Honestly, my dogs are kind of spoiled. They don't live in a kennel. We were kind of talking about that at dinner last night. A lot of people think Schutzhund dogs go from the kennel to the field. I'm sure there's some people that do that. Honestly, my dog is kind of a couch potato, but he's got the clear communication when we go to the field, when we go to work. The objects I use, like so at home the dogs don't get tugs. When I go to work, they get tugs. At home, maybe this or that. I'm very fortunate. We have a really nice training field in Jacksonville where we live. The dog knows I go to the field. Very rarely does a dog get lollygagging time. Sometimes we'll go out there and just throw the ball for him just because there's no other dogs around. But the dog realizes, hey, when I go to the field, man, it is time to work. I want to work. So, and I do the same thing. So I have I call it non-formal and a formal. So formal is healing, and non-formal is just hey, let's go for a walk. Who cares where you're at? Who cares if you're beside me? Who cares? Chair's like 300 pounds. So I don't care if the dog even pulls. Other people that walk my dog do because the dog yanks it down the street. This is why we put the prong collar on. But it's not. I don't think it's going to confuse a dog if you treat it like a house pet. But you got to make sure if you invite the dog up on the bed and you say down, okay, and then you go to sleep, and the dog gets up and wanders off the bed. Well, you broke the down command, right? So that is a gray area. You want to make sure that you're not confusing the dog.
And you could use like English commands for at home, and then
Sure, or just tell the dog, hey, lay down, get down. Whatever the case is, have it non-relaxed. Okay.
Don't you think they figure it out?
They do.
Yeah.
You're good point. They do figure it out a lot of times, but I mean, reality is we got our dogs to enjoy, right? Okay, so I can't really enjoy my dog if he's out in a kennel and then just goes to the field. What kind of relationship is that? Okay, I want my dog. I want to. This is a sport. It's a man and animal sport. I was going to comment. So earlier I saw you have to pick your dog up and put him in his crate.
So this isn't her crate.
Okay.
She goes to bed, but she's only ever used that crate. So we've been like struggling with getting her in this one.
So that brings up a good point. If you go somewhere and you have to borrow a crate, so these little things change. A lot of times, I've worked with people that right before the trial they change something up. Like the night before the trial, they change. Oh, I'm gonna do this differently for my dog, and the poor dog, it throws the dog off. So if you guys are thinking ahead of time, if you're gonna go, okay, well, I'm just gonna go get a crate, or I'm gonna borrow my friend's crate. You set that up in the building, you shove the dog in it right before you go in the ring. It might stress your dog out. Consistency is one of the most important things. I'll give you a little hint for those who do AKC that my friend Lynn does. When she goes to a trial, two things that I'll comment that she does that really help you guys. When she does her off-leash work, she uses a leash that she doesn't have to take off the dog's head. She takes how's she do it? she takes basically a slip leash, okay? And that way when she just takes it off, she doesn't slip it over the dog's head. She lets go of one of the ends and it just comes right off. It's a whole lot easier to take on and off the dog. The other thing she does is the moment she gets out of the ring, she goes to her crate and she has one special treat that the dog only gets on training days after they're out of the ring. Only time it gets that, it's a really, really high value. So the dog goes in, does its routine, then she runs out to the crate, and she ignores everybody. The moment she comes out of the crate, she runs to the crate, and she gives the dog that special reward. So now the dog going into the ring, what's the dog's mood? Oh, man, I can't wait to do this routine. Why? Because at the end of this routine, I get this one special treat, and I can't wait for that one special treat. And it really helps her dog. Okay? She got a perfect 300, so the lady knows what she's doing.
I do that.
And she's done it with Siberians too.
Yes.
I do that. I'm a mobile groomer, and I'll leave something really good, like the end of my hamburger or something in the van. We'll go out, do a routine, and send her back. You know, it makes her happy.
Okay, so when we get each dog out, to accomplish as much as we can. Okay, you guys already covered engagement. I think, that's probably 90% of everybody's problem is just engagement, get your nose off the ground, and having fun. I think you guys all did really good. I'd like to show you something with each dog different or something else that you're working on. However, it really is difficult because if the dog is coming out and giving you no engagement, by us asking for a behavior and the dog's not giving us anything, well then that makes it really hard. So if there's something that you think your dog that we can do besides healing, unless you want to work on healing, I want you to think about if there's something even that I can show you, even if your dog doesn't do well right now or at all, that I can show you with another person's dog or, heck, I'll get mine or whatever. I want you guys to be able to have success. Yes?
What's the best way to do a recall and make them sit straight?
Ooh, that's a very good point here. So,
Without, every time Pablo comes, he comes and he sits like this, so I have to back up.
I really like these. You read my mind. So there's a couple different reasons why the dog does not sit straight. Usually it's because we work on too much healing. What is one thing that we work on most than anything else? Healing. We're always telling a dog to heal. If you ever, it kind of is. But if you ever think about it, when you're training with your dog, how often are you telling your dog to finish? Usually like tons of times. The normal person, not you, but the normal person, they want the dog beside them because they're going to do a sit-stay. What do? Finish. They want the dog to do a stand-stay. What do? They start and then finish. So we're doing tons of finish, like 20, 30 finishes. So now the dog's learning, hey, beside you is where everything starts. So then we start to work on fronts. Now what happens? Now the dog thinks, oh, you want me to start and finish. Well, wait a minute. No, I want you to start in the front. Okay. So these come in really handy. Do me a favor. Can you lengthen them out a little bit for me, please? Can you pull these out a little bit longer? Yes, please. So everybody, if this is my dog right here, everybody teaches the dog by sitting here, have the dog come to the front, right? But what happens if I'm here and I call the dog to the front? What do you think the dog's going to do? Guarantee you none of your dogs will come to the front position. He's going to go to the side. Why? Because you're angled here. He's just going to come to you and say, okay, Mom, oh, maybe you want me to do a finish, okay? So I like to teach the dog it does not matter where I am at. You can call to a finish anywhere. Finish is a separate muscle memory than just come to me. Finish means I come sit in front of you. However, like I said earlier, there's a lot of different aspects to finish I do with my dog. I work on the sit, I work on head position, and I work on closeness. I break it, I really define my training down a lot. Okay? So these come in really handy. And we can do this with when your dog comes out. Okay? So we start the dog here. Okay? The person is halfway in the middle. Okay? And we just start doing fronts in here. These are great because it helps the dog stay straight. Okay? You stay straight, everything's straight. When we free the here, come out here. Would you please? Separate these a little bit longer so my big butt can fit in through them. Thank you. Okay, so I'm right here. However, do you think she should put her dog in a sit and call the dog to the front? Nope. I like tossing the food out. A lot of people don't like. I like tossing the food out. The reason being is if I put my dog in a sit and I leave my dog and my dog gets up, what am I doing to my sit stay? I'm ruining something else I need to fix later.
What do you mean to toss the food out?
Okay, so if Cobble's right here, toss a piece of food kind of like where Rebecca's foot is.
Just to distract
Yep.
him.
And the moment he's eating that food, you're already set up, ready to do front. Okay? So I'm your dog. I ate the food. Where are your hands going to be? Yeah, before the dog even turns around. Now, your hands are to your side. Are you working on the front, or does he know front?
He knows to come to me to sit in front of me.
Okay.
I can't say that he wouldn't sit over there if I turned.
Okay, so for right now, put your hands right where your belly button is. Belly button. Okay? With food in it, because you're going to feed me. You don't have to have food. Okay? So I eat the
I
food.
already fed you.
I turn around, come back. Okay? And now she tells front and front. Now, when she releases me, which way she's going to go?
Backwards.
Yep. And she frees me. Go backwards. All right. Okay? And then she runs back over here. Run back over here with me. Run back over here. Come on. She tosses a piece of food out. While I'm going for it, she's already set up. Boom. I grab it. Turn around. Front. Call the front and free. Go backwards. Okay,
So
now
do
once...
I wait for him to sit?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah, wait for him to sit, then free him. Once she starts establishing that we're using these for fronts, now what she can start doing is she starts tossing the food. So different places. So let's say she tosses it over here. Okay, she's already in the cones. Are you in the cones?
Nope.
Okay, she says front. Now what a lot of dogs are going to do is line of sight. The dog turns this way. What do you think it's going to do?
He's gonna jump right
This
over
is
it.
nothing, right? There's no reward. No sit. The moment the dog does it wrong, free. Okay, come back out. Okay, so that tells us she needs to change a variable. She is too far forward. Okay, so she tosses a piece of food. Okay, do me a favor. Be between the cones right where the black line is. First black line is. Okay, now I grab the food. I come back. I circle around this a little bit. And now we do the front. Well, wait a minute. That was kind of interesting. Okay, she frees me, goes backwards. Free, good, okay. She comes back. Now she tosses a piece of food over here. Be at the yellow line, be at the yellow one. Okay, I grab the food, come around. Now I circle around the cone, and I come to the front. Okay, so each time they do this, she's moving back a little bit more. So what am I doing? I'm getting the muscle memory. I can be over here. She calls front, and I come, circle around to come into her front. And she's doing this from different areas. She's not always doing it from the right or left. She can be anywhere. But she's teaching the muscle memory for swinging out and coming to the front. Here, stand over here for a minute. Because let's look at the mechanics. Stay right there. If I'm eating a piece of food right here, and she calls me front, put your hands to your stomach. Okay, she calls me front, what am I going to do? Nope, I'm going to probably come right here. Okay, but if I've been taught the muscle memory to go out away from her and have my body straight, now what happens? Now she's taught me the muscle memory of always coming around to the front position, not the heel position. Okay, so that's one way of teaching it. Here's the other way of teaching it. Okay, come this way so everybody can see, please. Put your hands to your stomach. So, so what she can do is she can feed me here, and she can turn her body. I'm not gonna be able to turn it because of my chair.
That's okay.
Okay, it's just she feeds me, and she turns a little bit to the left. All right, doesn't matter. Okay, and she gets my butt to almost to crouch over a little bit. So she turns right and left, and she gets the dog to stay in the front position, but find it when she turns right or left. Okay, dog's here, turn that way. Okay, ooh, front, and the dog finds the front. But we want him just to kind of scoot a little bit, little baby steps. So what is the dog learning? The dog is learning that even though mom may turn, I find the front. So muscle memory for finding the front position.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, is that what you want to work on?
Sure.
Or do you want to work on something else?
No, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, let's do it. See, I'm glad I got to explain it before you got your dog. Okay, any other questions while she's grabbing her dog? Yes.
It's kind of related, but getting the excitement in the come. Like I can get my dog to come to me, like my 8-year-old, even in the ring, and he loves being right next to me, but he can see me, and I'm like, come, and he like walks.
Ah.
Okay, so he comes, but we lose
Here,
the point.
come out here for a minute. Okay, keep grabbing your dog. I'm going to help her real quick. Okay, come out here. Yes, please grab him, please. Yes. Okay. So I'm her dog. Okay. I usually put the dog in a sit or down.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm in a sit. She calls the dog, right? Come. I know what's gonna happen. I know when I get to her, I have to sit. This is no fun. I don't really want to sit. It's kind of like her boyfriend. When you get home, can you mow the lawn? His buddy calls up, hey, do you want to go shooting? Wait, mow the lawn, go shooting. Mow the lawn, go shooting. What do you think he's going to choose? He's going to go shooting, right? So what she needs to do is she needs to change the parameters, okay? She's going to call me. Okay, I'm halfway to her. Turn around and run. Well, where's Mom going? Mom, where are you going? I want to be with you. Okay, and then she frees me. Don't worry about the sit. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, you've done too many capping of the drives. Okay, stay there. Okay, distance helps too. Okay, she puts me in a sit. Now this is training by herself. Okay, she puts me in a sit. Okay, she says, come. Okay, she stands there like nothing's going to happen. All of a sudden, boom, turns around. As I'm almost to her, she turns around and feeds me. No, turn around all the way to me.
All the way.
And she shows me the kind of the picture without the sit. She shows me that I'm going to come. We got to also think about it from the dog's point of view. If I'm going to run into a wall, why would I want to run at the wall quick? It makes no sense, right? Some of my club members... Oh, there's a lady up... can you let her, please? Some of my club members do this. Okay, come grab this ball, please. You can do it with food or toy. Okay, come stand over here, please. Okay, stand with the ball to your belly button, both hands. Okay, so what's going to happen is she's going to call me. Okay, when I get about right here, she's going to spread her legs and throw the ball between her legs. Boom! Yep. Sorry, let me close. What's the dog going to hopefully do? Boom! Go right through the legs. So
Yeah.
she can do it. Okay. But as a dog, what muscle memory am I getting now? Yeah, am I going to run into a wall or am I going to run through Mom?
I see.
Okay, so two different ways. The other thing, you can also have somebody hold the dog. Okay, and you call the dog halfway to you turn around and run. That way you're not working on you're not blowing your sits.
Okay.
Okay? Can you get that ball back to Jennifer, please?
Too late.
He says, I'm a Mal. I like bells. Okay, so let's start over here. Okay, so show him a piece of food. Okay, just toss it off to the side. Take it. Not to the side, just straight back right here.
Cabo.
Toss it, okay. Okay, next time one piece. Okay, and go backwards. Be ready, call in front.
Cabo. Easy.
Okay, and free and backwards. Free. Okay. You forgot what we did, go. So when the food's over here, I want you between the cones.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, one piece of food at a time. Tossing 3 or 4.
Easy.
Ah, no, you dug in your bag.
I know.
Oh, she's fired. No. So, okay, this is just a heat of warning. Don't rely on your body to get the dog to the front. Did you see what she did? She rocked back. Can you do that in the ring? No. So if you do at that front, walking back every time, now what's happening? The dog is relying on you doing that, okay?
Easy.
Hands to your stomach. Tap.
Cabo. Easy.
Tap to your stomach. Okay, wait. Nah, you didn't rock back. Tap again. Front. Oh, yes, feed him for that. Good. And free and backwards. Free backwards. Okay, did you say free?
I said, well.
No, I know you did it.
Am I supposed to go backwards or am I just supposed to throw it from there and back?
I want you free and then come back and do it again.
Okay.
Okay?
But I mean, when I go free, do I go back?
Yes, you free him and you go backwards. And it's a great time to engage. While you're going backwards, you're freeing. Okay?
Combo.
Front.
Easy.
Nice. And free backwards. Good. One more time doing it straight like that, then we'll start arching it. Or now.
Combo. Easy. Combo.
Okay, go.
Yeah, see?
Don't throw it over there, my dog.
Yeah.
What the other way?
Okay, free. Yeah, toss it the other way.
Too close to Mom.
Combo. Easy.
Okay, wait. Just be patient. Feed him. You weren't patient. Go this way. Patience hard, isn't it?
Combo. Easy. Combo. Easy.
Okay, so no reward for it, right? Okay,
They're laughing at you.
free him.
Come on, Rick.
Okay, so we're kind of losing the dog on the little bit of the checkout by tossing the food. Okay. He says, what the heck was that?
Keep that, keep that.
Yeah, don't teach him to bite that, please.
Let's maybe try it going this way.
But I want you to actually put him in a sit right here.
Yeah, if I had a tug, it'd be
Why do you have a tug?
Huh? I do have a tug.
Okay, well, you want to do it with a tug?
You wanna borrow the ball?
Or the ball.
He won't bring it back to me.
Oh, that's another lesson. Okay, well, we'll try food a couple times. Okay, put him right here. I want you right here facing the wall right there.
Here. I see.
Okay, tell him sit. You step into the cones.
I see.
Okay, right where the black line. There you go, right there. Okay, now what's his eye contact telling us he's gonna do? He's gonna jump, right? So watch what she's gonna do. No, don't you dare move. Okay, stick your hand straight out. Okay, now call front.
EC. EC.
Okay, bring him back. That was funny.
Yeah, no.
It was kind of funny. Come on.
Here. I see.
Okay, try it again. But failure helps us, right? Dog still didn't get reward for that. Nope. Get back. You can work through this. Okay, call him front.
EC.
And in. Good.
Yes.
Backwards. Right away. Go put him back. Good. Did you tell him free?
I said yes.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Wait. Yes is your
Yes
free.
is my break.
Whew.
Oh, that's good.
You have to remind me.
Good is.
Okay, sorry. You're right. We had this conversation. Okay. Back him up a little bit. Do a turn to the right, so you're not doing finishes. Turn to the right. No, you turn to the right, honey. Turn your whole body. Twist. Okay, now is the direction you want him, and you didn't have to tell him finish, right? No, you still did it with your body.
I know. I was trying to fix this.
Oh.
I see.
Okay, back up a little bit more. Back up a little more. Hands out. Okay, call front.
EC. EC. Yeah, I know he's looking at me
Good.
going. You see?
Okay, so free him.
Break. Yes.
Can you move that side a little closer? And this side, please. Wait, don't tell him to sit for a minute. Can you hold him for a minute? Can you hold the dog? Okay. She's gonna hold him. Free him. Just say okay, whatever. Okay, walk away. Walk over here. Okay, ready? Call him.
Combo. EC.
Oh, that's what I wanted. So the dog finally came around the cone. Rookie, run back again. Hand release to her again, please. Hand release to Rebecca. Don't do a finish. Rebecca, can you stand right here?
Which way to turn?
Okay, come a little bit closer right here, Rebecca. Okay, go in the cones, Mom. Go in your hole. Okay, go forward. Okay. Whatever his name.
Cabo. Cabo. Yeah. No, looking for girls.
Looking for love and all the
Cabo. No smell.
Oh, you're not there to enforce it. We'll help you out. There you go. Come on. There you go. There you go.
He's checked out now.
Okay, come check him in then.
Cabo, here. Look. No smell. No smell. That's enough of that. Here. All right, good. Yes.
Okay, go quick. Okay, go quick. Okay, hold the toy straight out. Okay.
Cabo. Cabo. EC.
It's okay. That's fine. Okay, put that back, Mom. Okay.
EC.
Yes, there it is.
Yes.
Okay, go back again. Nope.
Easy.
Good. So now he's self-rewarding when he comes to the front for the tug, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's if you're gonna use a tug, then you have to teach the dog control. Okay. Well, wait. Let's try it again.
Okay.
No, we're not giving up.
No smell. Here.
Okay. Do me a favor. Pull back a little bit and hold on to it. Okay. Do me a favor. Drop that. Drop it right there. Give it a little kick. Just a little kick for it. Yeah. Good. Go grab it. You got it. Okay. Hands out. Leg. Stay front.
Easy.
House. Tell him out. And now free. Let him have it free. Good. Do it one more time.
So you want him to release the toy before you see him? Is what?
Hold on. I'll tell you one second. Okay. Call him.
Easy.
Okay. So the fact that you're making the snapping motion is causing him to bite the toy.
Okay.
Okay. So you want him to go into
So
a.
go ahead and just bite it while I'm holding it out.
No, here, out. Let him have it for a minute. So the dog's coming to the front. Then when he gets close, you're snapping the toy. Snapping the toy usually means get the toy, right?
Right.
So you're not waiting for him to sit. You want him to sit, and then he gets rewarded.
So do I bring it into me?
So as
I'm holding it
so
like
yeah,
this.
as he's coming around, okay. Once he clears these cones, you need to have it in the front
Next to my
position.
body.
Yes.
Okay.
But he's almost to you, and then you're pulling it in.
Okay.
Here, you can sit down, Rebecca, and have we do this on our own. Okay, let's try to put him and sit right here.
Cabo.
Want to sit right there?
Sounds better when I whisper. You taught me that.
Well, you are saying your front's really loud. You know.
Usually because he's loud.
Okay.
So I need to sit quieter.
He doesn't need you to yell at him. You kind of act like he's mad at him. Where's your prong collar?
He was.
Okay.
I took it off while he was out there because he was like this.
Okay, gotcha. You know your dog. Okay, only he's facing the wrong way, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey. I see.
Okay, this time don't hold it out. Let's see if we can get lucky. Okay. Hold it up higher though. Higher. Okay, a little higher. Okay. Now call it.
Cabo. Easy. You didn't get it.
Yeah.
No. Here. I see. Easy.
Now toss it between your legs. Okay, that's fine. So in the front, I would free him and toss it between your legs sometimes too.
Okay.
That's better. You're not gonna solve it
He
today.
wipes me out when you do that.
Okay, then don't do that.
Or
Anything else you want to work on?
Huh?
Anything else you want to work on?
No, that was others had things, but it was mostly how to straighten that out.
Okay.
we
So
can-
does that make sense using things like this? You're gonna use chairs. You don't have to use necessarily these cones, but they do work handy for this. You can use chairs. You can use any guidance. The idea is just teaching the dog to circle around in front of you, using these to teach the dog straight. I was asking her if she could toss the toy between her legs. Tossing the toy between the legs, if the dog is being released through you, they have no reason to really be crooked, right? Because the dog is thinking muscle memory to go between your legs, not I'm going to go this way or I'm going to go that way. But if you can't do it because your dog's worried about wiping you out, then you can't do it.
I looked up what those are called. Telescoping cone bars.
I like dingle boppers better. Are you next?
I think so.
All right. What do you want to focus on, young lady?
I think I'd like to see the correct way to make her have a down.
Okay.
I've never worked with her on a down before, so it'd be nice to know the correct way.
Wish we had a table.
There's that ice cooler and there's carpet that we know of.
If that's a hard request, we have.
No,
to
actually,
go-
can we use, whose ice cooler is that?
There's a carpet that we can put on top of there.
Sarah's coming. I have a carpet, it's great.
Let's try the ice cooler.
Do you want a carpet on top of it?
Sure.
Here, oh, that's, I know somebody, here it is.
Downing. Right there. Thank you.
Hold it half though.
When I put it through my legs, Zoe had me do that as a puppy, and now he wipes me out when he's at a dead run.
Gotcha.
My
Good
Roddy
call.
slams into me from a
Takes
dead
out
run.
my knees.
She just jumps.
Okay, will she jump up on here?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let's.
Up. Up. Come on. Come on.
Good
girl.
job. Okay, free her. Let her get her comfortable. So free her. Let her jump off. Free. Okay, do it again.
Danny.
Just want to get her comfortable.
Danny. Up. Twist. Up. Come on. Up. Good girl.
Good. Have you ever done down with her at all? Okay. This may be a little vicious. So I like to teach down up on top of something. Okay. One of the best ways to do the down, never teach your dog to sit and then down. Okay. The reason being is 2 different muscle memories. It really confuses the dog later in life. You guys probably already know this, but at least wanted to let you know just in case you didn't know it. Okay. So before we actually use this table here, I'm going to ask for a volunteer. Can I use? Yes. Can I use you? And Sally, you want to help out? Okay. Take this rod off for a minute. Yeah, one of them. Sorry, I thought she'd already knew down we needed to fix it, so we're going to do this a little bit differently. No cones. Okay, you're going to hold one end of the rod, and you're going to hold the other end, Sally. Okay. And hold it over here a little bit, ladies. Away from that cone. Just go that way, please. Okay. Okay, kneel down. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to step over the cone. She's going to be on the rod. She's going to be on this side. You're going to be on that side. You're going to take food. You're going to lead it underneath the rod, and you're going to slowly pull the food this way until her body drops down. We're going to see what she does, okay?
Okay.
Okay, takes food out. Okay. And stop for a second. Don't move it, don't move it, don't move yet. Don't feed her. Okay? So this is really hard for people to do. They always want to push the butt down. They always want to help the dog. I want the dog to figure out this on their own unless we have... And feed her. Good job. Throw a party. Good job. Feed her another one. Feed her another one. And lift it up, ladies, and free.
Yay! That was good, Danny.
Okay. Is yay, Fanny, that was good your free command?
Why not?
Oh, come on.
Good job.
Come on, guys. We've been here since 9, so
Okay.
you should, okay, let's try it again.
Yes should be correct, right?
And I can't tell you what your free command is. I use free. I use yes as a marker word, so you have to the only thing I said, don't use okay. You want to teach your dog in French? She can teach you French.
I just use
What are you guys
I-
using?
I say free dog.
I say free.
Okay.
Okay.
a break or.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, now don't really confuse. Let's just use free. Okay. Okay, so wait, don't feed her yet. And feed her, good. So do me a favor, stay there for a minute. Mom, stand up, say free.
Free.
Okay, take a piece of food to save on time. Take a piece of food and toss it back here. Yep, right there. Let her see it. Okay, ready? Have food. Load that. Ready? Have food already. And stop. Don't move it. Good. And free her. Lift it up, ladies. Free. Okay, toss another one that way. Okay, ready? Have your food ready? Wait. Good. So make sure when you do this, the dog is offering the butt all the way down. The dog did a kind of sliding almost down, but I saw its rear up and its butt up. So later in life, when you're doing downs, you're doing especially recall downs, the dog's thinking, I'm going to stay halfway up because I want to come to you as quick as I can. You want to teach the dog the muscle memory for dropping it all the way down. Good job. Okay. The other thing I wanted to do is you notice the dog's going underneath it and kind of keep climbing. So I want you to stop your hand, like, I want this right above the withers. So I don't go beyond the withers. Okay, ready? Okay. Stop, don't move your hand. Nice, there we go. Okay.
Free.
The other thing I want you to do is when I tell you, I want you to push your hand into the dog a little bit, okay? Okay, toss it again. She didn't see it. I like this game. Ready? Ready? Uh-oh. Gotta be... Okay, ready? When I tell you, push the food into her. Push the food into her. Good. So you see what happened when you push the food in? The dog kind of rocked back. So in a minute, when we get rid of this rod, when she pushes the food in, it goes down. What do you think the dog's going to offer? Okay, do it again. Do you think she's ready for a down command?
No.
Really? I think she's pretty dang close.
Close.
Wait. Good. Free?
Free.
Can you do me a favor? Can you have a handful of food so you don't have to keep going in your jacket?
Sure.
Thank you. If the dog can get the food easy, why would they want to do it the hard way? And stop. Good. Okay, free and toss.
Free.
Good. Do me a favor. Leave the pipe right there, ladies.
Free.
Okay. Do another right away. Lift yours up, Sally, a little bit. Wait. Don't feed her yet. Don't feed her. Push the food into her just a little bit. Good. Oh, there it is. Good job. And free her.
Free.
Yeah, her elbow's stuck. Free. Okay, ready? Okay, don't move it. Don't move the food. Don't move the food. Push it into her a little bit. There it is. Good job. Okay, ladies, lift your pipe up a little bit more.
Free.
Push it into her a little bit and wait. Just wait. Okay, leave it low. Okay, don't feed her yet. Don't feed her. Okay, stand up and toss the food. Oh, not all of it.
Oh.
Okay, it's okay. Ready? We can do it again. Ready? She thought that was great. But we just threw a party for not downing.
Okay.
Okay, push food into her.